Hello everybody, Accureye here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talks, and well, I guess it is some Accureye Talks, isn't it? And yeah, in today's video, I thought we'd be talking about the issue that sometimes appears with many competitive fighters. This issue being, of course, the lag or latency. And for many of you, you're probably thinking, what do you mean by latency, or what do you mean by lag, and why is that so important? Well, in many ways, it's important to know this because of the fact that when it comes down to it, lag and latency is so important to really make a perfect match. And, you know, with Wi-Fi players always being on Wi-Fi, you know, sometimes, especially when they're battling, consider that most of them are casual. You know, let's face it, they're going to not even notice that there is a big difference, because most of the time these people are just people who are mashing buttons. But, you know, but with competitive players like me, or like people who you may have seen like Maximilian Dude, Vesper Arcade, we care so much about latency and our connection, which is why many of us suggest having loud connection. There's nothing wrong with Wi-Fi connection, especially when it comes to video games. You know, when it comes to video games, if you're on a Wi-Fi connection, don't worry about it. Your Wi-Fi connection will support your stream as well as your gameplay. But you're going to notice a big difference between latency when it comes to you know, or you're going to notice the lag when it comes down to playing the game. And I mean, here you got a bit of a perfect example of actually the game just functioning perfectly. Like, there's no lag. This connection is beautiful. In my opinion, this connection is pretty much beautiful. So, you know, with that in regard, you know, it makes sense, and it does create like the perfect match where I can pretty much play it like I was in a tournament. And I mean, you know, that's one thing that I like about like some people who do have good connection. It's like you can play this game like you were in a tournament. You can see every frame, you can see every motion, you can almost see every setup, if you will. And I mean, with that being said, you know, that's why having a wired connection is so good for many competitive players. We go with wired connection because, you know, let's face it, we got our smartphones, we got our computers, we got our many TVs, you got your routers or your TVs running off the router, you got maybe hundreds of other devices running off one Wi-Fi system. And because you got so many of these devices running off one Wi-Fi system, you end up with a basic latency, a bit of a lag, and you, if you will, frame rate issue where you may not be able to read the frame completely, you know. So with that being said, of course, you know, you can see what I mean by it's very important to make sure that you're, oops, sorry about that. To make sure that you're, and sorry about the little tap there, but to make sure that, that you're running in your best, mode, in your best connection, in your best fashion, if you will. And, you know, it's why many of us, who play competitively, especially Street Fighter, are not very happy about Street Fighter because, let's face it, Street Fighter does not have the best connection. Its peer-to-peer connection is, kind of mediocre, if you will, at best. You know, I've never really had a good connection from too often unless I'm running at 4 to 5 bars only for service. I've never really had a very stable connection with many players because, you know, as it is, like I've said, we have hundreds of devices sometimes running off one router. And when we go Wi-Fi connection, especially with of course like for instance playing Street Fighter, you know, we share a peer-to-peer connection, which means that whoever has the best router at the time is going to be the host of the battle. And that being the case, the host of the battle may also be running on a Wi-Fi connection, as we call it, or Wi-Fi connection. And it does make the match a little bit laggy sometimes. So while it may be the best connection, it's not going to be the overall best experience. Now, in shooter games or FPSs like Rainbow Six Vegas, stuff like MMOs like Black Desert Online, you know, maybe even like on Call of Duty or Fortnite, you're never going to notice the lag that much unless it's just really, really, really bad. But when it comes to stuff like Street Fighter, where it's purely peer-to-peer, you will notice the lag someone's going to notice the lag. And of course, if it's a competitive player who's on wired connection like me, it's going to be me who notices the lag before the before the other player does. So, you know. So with that being said, you know, it is in some degree what it is. But I mean, that's just the thing, is that in some cases, you know, you'll see that the connection is not good. And I mean, in fighting games especially, you notice it. You know, more or less. More or less, you notice that in fighting games, it is, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah. But overall, you know, that's just my talk and my discussion about, and of course my discussion about, you know, lag and why it's just so important to of course, you know, try and make it as smooth as possible, if you will. You know, because the smoother, if everyone was pretty much on a wired connection, then, then overall, you know, it would be, much better. Overall, we'd have a much more stable player base, a much more stable, server, if you will. And, yeah, with that being said, you know, that's just my little talk about, you know, why connection is so important, and why it's important to, you know, have at least a somewhat stable connection. So, yeah, I mean, this is a shorter video than my usual ones. Well, of course, I do apologize if it is a little bit shorter than usual. But, you know, there's not much to say, obviously, about lag and whatever, and just, like, you know, latency and all that little jazz. I mean, obviously, I would love to say that, you know, you can fix it, but honestly, there's no real way of fixing server-to-server, peer-to-peer issues, or just lag issues. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Many people are on Wi-Fi because it's easy, it's hands-free, you don't have to have a wire bulging out somewhere to connect to the, to of course connect to the router. But, you know, when you've done that, it does make sense that the, it does make a lot more sense, and it does make it a,
round one.
If you will, better fighting experience, or a better experience. I mean, even in this match, you'll see here how in some cases, sometimes the frames don't really make a whole lot of sense, because, and I think this was partly due to light lag. Like, they could have easily been character canceling, but it does seem like it's partly due to light lag, because like here I'm trying to read it, and obviously I can't really read it. So yeah, it is what it is. But you know, this is just a little bit of a video to tell you about this stuff and the issues around it. And with that being said, I mean, thank you everyone for joining me on this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, get subscribed, hit that bell notification so you know when my next video will drop next. Thank you everyone for joining me on this video. I am live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/Accureye. I am live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I'm planning to make a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday stream. Monday, Tuesday, and potentially Sunday are going to be about 2 to 3 hours, give or take, stream. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday will be a 4 to 5 hour stream, give or take. And with that being said, I mean, thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being here. But, yeah, you know. And, thank you everyone for joining me. And until the next one, this is Accureye signing out and saying, farewell, everyone.